There are two videos, watch this one and the following video as well. There are instances where some of the sound effects are a little high, which is what is part of the feature of the video is all about. So bear with me, but ensure you watch both of them. So I have upgraded the periodic table in full. So I have all the elements. I also have the function where you can look at the periodic table. You can also look at the compound registry which I've made. And I do have another option if I come back to the periodic table and I can select one of the elements. For example, let's say I select iron. I have one of the other elements also highlighted, which if I select can play out the entire sequence of how the particles would behave. So what I'm going to do is, first let me just show you the additions that I've done in terms of the sound effects that I've given to them, how the particles are going to react. So let's just quickly get into it. When you start off, you have hydrogen. So let's say I want to look at iron. So if I say Fe, you can see how iron is going to behave. So open hand is basically just repulsion of the particle so that you can see its behavior. And if I pinch the screen, they get attracted to how I'm holding it up. So you can see how the particles behave, right? So what I want to show you next is something very important. So if I come back to the periodic table, I can show you the radioactive elements. So I want you to listen carefully also. If you're wearing earphones, it will be even more better. So if you look at uranium, you can see how uranium reacts, right? So I am just going to take my hand off the screen. You can listen to the sound and you can also see how uranium is reacting. Pretty cool. I can also do the same for plutonium, and you can also do the same for radium as well. Wonderful, right? I want to show you, where is it? Lithium. So I mean, I know what lithium is, but I did not know that this is how the property is going to be. You can observe how it works, how it gets pretty cool, right? And another one that I want to show you is the combination of elements, right? So let's say if I select hydrogen, obviously oxygen is going to get highlighted. So if you do this and press enter, you'll have water, and you can see how water also acts. I've done my best to look at the animation of this part, the particles behavior, so you can see that it kind of moves like it is actually water, very subtle, like if you're putting it down into a well, or if water is pouring down a crevice, how it might appear. I've done my best. Then I have sand. This is taken from observation of an hourglass, so you can see that when I pinch, you'll notice how it's falling into the point like it's actually in an hourglass. How the sand is going to fall in an hourglass. Pretty cool, right? Then if I go back to the periodic table,